All right. Hopefully it worked this time. We're going to find out in a second. You want to refresh for me? God, these things. Ugh. All right, test. All right, that is better. That is finally coming through. The fact that I cannot just switch the the input, the mic. If there is a way, it doesn't make it obvious. All right, so we finally got it set up. We got the camera here on a swivel up top, or I don't. I guess I won't call it a swivel. It's an arm, and I got it set up. So no more falling, no more awkwardness. Well, there'll be don't get me wrong. There'll definitely be awkwardness. But hopefully it won't be falling. All right, let me go turn on. This light is making me cook. I turn the air conditioning on. This light here, I got is hot, dude. Like, oof, wow. Can I turn it down? Yeah, there we go. Hopefully that'll make it less hot. Cook it. All right, the Kdrama. First of all, I don't know how much I can show. I'll sneak her up. We're drawing this beautiful lady. I love her bone structure. She's in I guess you'd call it. I don't know. I think it's a teddy bear. It's a nightie, whatever. But I'm using her as my stand-in. I don't have anyone to pose for me, so this is who we're using. Hopefully this will stay in the right spot. So not in the right. Just a second. Gotta tighten this up here. Stop it. All right. So, but I like her facial structure a lot. That's mainly why I went with her. The outfit gives a little bit because the outfit helps. I think it's going to help with making because it kind of lends into what I'm going to use for making her body, her wings, I guess. But man, the facial structure just something lends to like being very fairy-esque, very like very fantasy. Like I could see him being like a nymph, like her body too. I mean, she's very skinny, but like being a nymph, then not in the inappropriate. I'm talking like a fantasy creature, like an elf, like a nymph, a dryad, something like that. She's very skinny, but her facial structure, it's got like that Russian. It's got a little bit of hard jawline and stuff, but then like she's got the pouty lips, the nice eye, like the eyebrows and stuff like that. The problem here is her hair goes into this darkness. So I mean, I can make it out, but so ooh, it tastes good. All right. Hopefully, yeah. I turned the light down. And the heat's starting to turn down, so that's good. Ah, man, that light was seriously cooking me. Arizona iced tea is delicious. All right. So her face is great. I think we're gonna go with either we're gonna stick with the long hair, or I might put it back into something. Like I might put some twigs in her hair or something and have it kind of drape backwards. So that's my idea, but it's cut off, so it's kind of hard to see. As you can see, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see, but I've patterned out the back here. This is a great way. This is a great way to do proportions if you're trying to maximize a picture, especially if you're doing the 2D picture. So if you're if you're new to drawing and you're doing 2D, like you're drawing from a 2D image you took yourself, or you're borrow, I mean, you're using, and you're hopefully you're transforming. I mean, if you're practicing or something, like I probably don't plan on selling these. These are all just for personal practice and use anyways. So these pictures, they're for me and in the long run. So, but anyways, best bet is if you're going to sell something, just try and take the photo yourself, even if it's you can get someone to pose or do something similar. If you do get a photo, I would try to transform it as much as possible, obviously. But this is a good way to get ratios. It's kind of hard to do. Like you always see like artists doing the thumb thing, like this, measuring at a distance. It's the same thing. So like if I'm looking at this square, it's the same thing. If you just took a ruler, put it up next to the face, measured, the face is about 1 inch, and then kind of took your ruler and put it up next to your eye, pulled it back, and then saw where about how long 1 inch was when it's about 2 feet away, and then you kind of sketch that out on the paper. So this just does it a little bit more precise, but I'm still going to be freehanding. This is just it makes it so you don't have to constantly pull your hand back, look at it, guess, and put your hand down. It's more like now you just have it down. I don't know if some people consider this cheating or not. Instead of have to constantly pull your hand away, constantly measure out with your hand. I've done all the measuring, quote unquote, right beforehand. So everything's a 1-to-2 ratio. So everything that's about 1 inch, 1 inch tall, 1 inch wide in the photo is going to be about 2 inches tall, 2 inches wide on the picture. So everything's about doubling in size, doubling in width, doubling in height. So yeah, 2 times as large, 2 times as wide. So, but that works pretty well. It's a 2x11 piece of paper, and it like this is about where it's going to be. So I'm going to end up doing something over here. I think. Oh, what the fuck? What did I just do? Oh, sorry. I turned the Kdrama on without realizing it. Oh, and what we're watching today is one called Forbidden Marriage. If you like boobies, sorry. If you like historical dramas, especially I like historical dramas that are funny. I would definitely check out Forbidden Marriage. It's a funny one. A lot of historical K-dramas, should I say, tend to be serious. I mean, they go back and forth. I think it's actually probably more around a 50-50 split nowadays. I can find quite a few fun, like comedy ones. Most of them have a romance because, historical pieces like Romeo, even in Western, historical stuff has a romantic flair to it. If it's not war, it's romance, right? Same thing, I think, in K-drama historical stuff. But I like the. I'm not as I don't enjoy the drama bits where like families are being eradicated and murdered and all that stuff. So hopefully, the only problem is these arms. They're not bad arms, but I'm gonna have to find a way to tighten them a little bit more. They seem to be as tight as they are, but the mic is a little bit heavy, and this arm does not want to stay up. Maybe it's just I'm not very good at tightening it. So let's go ahead and get here. As you can see, I got my towel here so that I don't smudge any lines. I can't. There is some nudity in the picture. It's tasteful nudity. It'd be like something you'd see you see in a nude art, like if someone just like standing, like if you went to a nude art class, someone simply standing there. But I don't know how you. I know Twitch. There's absolutely no nudity, and like unless you're like in bikini, and then whatever. Don't get me. Well, we're on YouTube. Twitch is retarded. Um, but I don't know what YouTube's policy is. I don't know if you can get away with doing art stuff. So as we draw it, I'm not going to include nudity. I'll be including the clothing and everything. So it'll be a little different because usually I do a layout and then I'll drape the clothes over her. But if I don't include, like, if I do it, maybe if I can get away with an outline. So, all right, let's start here. This is I went ahead and numbered up here in the corner. So this is a great. Okay, so this is the 10th one. I don't think the head. Yeah, the hair doesn't even go up into the 10th slot. It's up here in the 9th and the 5th. Where's the 5th? This is the 5th. All right, so 5, 9. This is where the head is, right? Yeah. Can you see me? Yeah, we can see. All right. Sorry. I'm extremely slow in drawing. I know I'm talking to you guys too, but I'm also extremely slow in drawing. So I'm very methodical about how I go. So it'll take me. I mean, I do really big pieces sometimes too. So, but once I get going, I usually get going. What I really like about this system is it really gives you a good reference point with the lines. Like I said, I mean that's what you really are using your thumb for, measurement and referencing when you're drawing. Unfortunately, I'm just not super great at doing it. I'm not great at doing it like just a second. I want to see if this. I want to make sure I'm coming through on the audio. Okay. Yeah, stop it. Yeah, it's all right. The mic's not in the best position. If I could just get it to turn. Hey, there we go. Just so you know, it hasn't been years. I drew a couple pictures last year, but I have not been in constant practice, so it takes me a little while to get back into it. It's not an excuse. It's just warning. So I might fuck up. We're gonna change the hair in the long run, like I said, but just for beginning, we're gonna start off by oops, don't. Yeah, I'm gonna start off just kind of drawing it to kind of reference where it's at. Now she's got an eyebrow. You know, it's okay if it's a little bit off. Like I said, this is just it's referential. The lines. Same thing if you're drawing. You use your thumb to measure and everything, then that can be perfect. This is. Where's my eraser? When you do erase, try and if you need to, do erase the lines a little bit. It's not a big deal. You still have when you do this, obviously you want to do the lines very smooth. I mean, smoothly, very do the lines very soft so it's easy to erase. Be careful if you blow. Make sure you just don't spit. It's always a bad habit of mine. The eyebrow is right here. So if you want an idea, she has, let's see if we can see it here, her cheekbone. This cheekbone right in here is about, I'd say about a third of the way down. So that's a good reference. So like you didn't break this down, but you can kind of guess where a third of the way down is, you know? And it comes in sharp. I mean, it's a sharp cheekbone, so even if something doesn't look quite like the picture, I suggest like I mean obviously if something's very off, you know, if you made it square and it's round, obviously fix it. But if it doesn't look quite like maybe I can go ahead and sharpen this her cheekbone up a little bit, or it's not quite as sharp, you know, as narrow. Maybe I can bring this in a little bit more. It's too out um, for her cheekbone. Go ahead and finish it, and then you can compare to what you drew to what it looks like, and you can go ahead because sometimes once you finish the whole thing, it kind of comes like a plan. I love it when a plan comes together. Um, when a picture comes together, it'll resemble more of what you want it to look like once it's done. Sometimes you can constantly nitpick your picture as you're drawing it, so don't don't constantly nitpick. It's something that's something I really did. I would be like, oh, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. And I'll constantly erase. Yes, there's some things that aren't right. But like right now, I'm kind of like, I don't think this cheekbone's quite right. Maybe I think I need to bring the cheekbone just a little bit up more and curve it in faster because it feels like this needs to be more sharp going down. But I don't think that's as bad. Or maybe not as sharp. Maybe it needs to come down right. Maybe it needs to be not as sharp. Maybe not as sharp, but maybe it comes down right here. But maybe, like I said, this needs to cut in a little bit. So don't feel like you need to fix everything all the time. Now this is right above. Wait until you bring the face together and start drawing. Once you bring the face together, then you can get an idea. Does the face look close? And then start editing. Then you can start fixing the little details. If you want to fix the cheek, if you want to fix certain aspects. Now she does have a little bit. This is just from an artist's perspective. So she does have a little bit of a wider chin. Well, she doesn't. I think it's her hair in the shadow. She doesn't necessarily have a wider chin, but she does have a lot. She has a lot sharper edges than most women do. She has a lot harder lines, like a guy does. But she still looks very feminine. But so she's gonna have a lot of hard lines. So you got to smooth. You're gonna have to smooth these lines out a little bit and obviously the details in the face are gonna help with making her look quite a bit more feminine. And how you then draw in the rest of the details. I think we'll draw in. Now, once I get in a little bit of the outline of the face, we're going to go ahead and I like getting a little bit of the outline of the face and then filling in the details. It's a little too sharp, I think. Now I love these. This is an eraser pencil, where it's an eraser built into a pencil. These are great. You can get these at most art stores and everything. If you have like a community college or a college bookstore or any kind of, you can probably find them at your local art store too, like a Barnes and Nobles, Michaels, and stuff like that. But if you got somewhere that like has art classes, community colleges, they'll probably supply them as well. Another good thing, instead of blowing, you can use your white eraser to go ahead and dab a little bit. Not hard, but dab. And pick up the extra straw stuff. Or, I don't know, chaff. What's going on? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move this up out of my way just a little bit. You're going to see this on an angle just a little bit, but hopefully I'll get it back into place for you. All right, this is noticeably too tall. I made her forehead too high. This ooh, Arizona tea is so good. All right, so her hair splits right about here. This is a little difficult because her hair and everything disappears into the background. So we're going to go ahead and be guessing a little bit. I'm probably not the best example. You can probably find videos on how to do really good hair other places. Now we're just doing an outline of the hair right now. This is going to come in and block off a little bit. Of her face. It's hard because the looks like it's going to be her. She has a part right about here, but like I said, it's hard to tell. So we're going to mess with her hair a little bit later. Ouch. I need to find a way. I got a chair, stupid chair. I need to figure out a way to make it go lower. Again, don't worry if it's not perfect. You're never going to be able to make it picture I mean, there was only one time I think I saw someone who was able to, like, there was this girl in an art class of mine back, I'll say about, yeah, it was about 10 years ago. I was taking classes at a community college, and this girl could look at a picture. She was doing like she wanted to do like family portraits. She wanted to make a business of taking pictures. She wanted to do like take pictures for families, family portraits, and then draw those family portraits, do like not paintings, but draw them for families. And this girl was so good. She was probably, I don't know how old she was. I think she was maybe a little bit older than me at the time. She was like 25, maybe around that age. And she, it looked like she had literally, it looked like I don't, it was so damn good. It looked like she had just taken the picture and blown it up on a large piece of paper. I don't know how, and I was watching her do it in front of me. It was such skill. I mean, sometimes, I mean, I was just saying, men are supposed to, I think men are supposed to have better eyes, like eye acuity. I can't remember what it is, like not fast twitch muscle. I think they're supposed to have better or more cones in their. I know women have more cones in their eyes to see color, but I think men are supposed to have like better visual acuity, like like from hunting and stuff. But her eye for detail and seeing things, maybe she just had really good vision, but her control and muscle and everything, maybe it was just from years of practice. Maybe she just drew a lot, but man, was she was just it was an example. It was an example of both either a mixture of talent or practice or whatever, but it was so good. I mean, I was jealous, but at the same time is like it was cool to witness having seen something like that before because damn, she was so good. Uh, but like that's like a one. That's like that was like one in a million. I bet you like if you had if that girl, she would have been like a she would have been like a not Apollo. Well, I don't know about Paulo Picasso. I know I don't know about his earlier works, but she would have been she would have been a Michelangelo or something if she'd been transported back in time with how well she drew. Whether or not she'd been able, she would have survived and all that. But like with the detail that she drew and how well she was able to look at people and draw them, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. Her skill and stuff. So uh, yeah. So, anyways, point being is you're never going to get everything perfect. That's a one in a million person, both either in talent or in how much they practice. So that's why practice makes perfect kind of scenario. Now this one, I think I need to extend this out a little bit more. There we go. The head's never like as you can see, the head's not like perfectly round or anything, but usually there's still a good certain angle arch to the way your head goes. So all right, her it comes right about here at the halfway mark. Now her neck goes. This is again proportions. I think this is about right, about a third of the way. And then her her shoulder comes in about here. And this is going to arch all the way down to almost perfectly the corner. This is where we're going to start drawing in the outfit right on top because underneath is her. I'm still working on my idea for the outfit, but and don't be afraid to use shading right away. for certain aspects, if you know where, like, where, if it's coming in just right. I'm still doing down here. I'm still doing very light shading. So in the end, I think we're gonna go ahead and do. I'm gonna find a way. I'm gonna find a picture. I think of two things. I'm gonna do some flowers in the background. I'm gonna have her posed kind of in the forefront. I think I want to have like some flowers in the background, and then another fairy, like flying towards us. If I can, I'll have to find another picture for that. But I don't know. I kind of like her hair. Her hair is. I like. It is gorgeous. Comes down here. Here. I'll be honest. The scariest or the hardest part for me is still always the face. It's because it's when I draw a picture, I always draw it because I like drawing interesting people in things, creatures. I mean, I like drawing some scenery too, but I like drawing things that interest me. But I also like drawing things that are. I like drawing. I like kind of like bringing beauty in the world. I don't tend to draw too many gory or violent things. I mean, I might spread out a little bit. I might draw some people fighting and some battles and stuff. But I I draw some cool things, but I like bringing some sort of beauty, like beautiful women, but even like just like when I say beauty, like even like men in armor, like cool. That's some sort of beauty, like beautiful creatures, cool creatures, something something that you can just look at and be like kind of find enjoyment in. It, it's I don't know how to say, but yeah, I like beautiful things. It's kind of weird to say like a creature like is a beautiful thing, but at the same time, yeah, like if I draw a giraffe, like you could find beauty, in nature or a creature or an animal or something. But like I find beauty in the majesty of it or something. But that's usually kind of what I draw and kind of get into. So, in the face and the figure is where a lot of that beauty is. The figure is not that hard to do, but the face and all the proportions where everything goes, if you're off a little bit, it can really screw you up. So that's where a lot of practice comes in. The same thing. A lot of people struggle with hands and feet. And if you struggle with those, the best thing to do is to just practice them. I struggled with hands quite a bit. I literally just have, well, not a whole book, but I have several pictures of just hands I had to keep practicing. And eventually kind of, I got not over the fear, but over like whatever to proportions, the issues with those. Excuse me. So, all right, before we keep going down, first of all, because I'm gonna kind of plot out how what I'm gonna do with, I just realized how stupid I am. I didn't leave. I didn't leave that much space for the wings. It didn't matter. We could have moved her over. I could have moved her over one, but I've already started drawing. This is where, I mean, I could start over, but I really don't want to. I think we could work with this. I think we could work with this, but I'm gonna have to figure something out. But this is where, okay, I made a mistake. I put her too close to the edge because I wasn't thinking about it at first. If you make a mistake, especially one that's like, we could go back. We could have go ahead and race and go back. It's not the biggest deal, but I mean, some effort's been put in. It's better than to have gotten like drawn the whole top to bottom, including the face, and gotten something we liked relatively and started going in for detail. But I think I was thinking more majestic, bigger wings in the end. But I guess we could go for some smaller wings, maybe like some tattered wings. Yeah, I think we could go for some like tattered wings. Would be nice. An idea of like they're damaged and torn. And then the other butterfly or something. This is yeah. So if you made a mistake, think about how you could, because a lot of times your artwork is never going to turn out how you imagined it in the first place. It's art tends to be a living. It's an expression, but it's a living thing. It's constantly changing. Same thing with like pottery, stuff like that. You have one image, you have an idea in your head, and then in the end, it could be, unless you're like a master, and you like make no mistakes, which is, even like the masters makes mistakes. It's very rare to not make a mistake. It's gonna be, there's gonna be mistakes, and when you do, it's how well you roll with the punches. So I think we got enough room here to still get some wing off the back. And I think if we go with torn and damaged wings, especially with, like I said, she has like a flowy nightgown kind of on, and I'm gonna use that with like ripples and wrinkles to like give her like a flowery like petal effect as an outfit, and that's gonna turn into her wings. If I can turn that into tattered and torn wings, I think we'll still have enough room to do it. I'm gonna have to mess with the hair to get it out of the way, but I still think we can do it. And then I can change some stuff up here. So, um, and then I'm gonna have an idea of like making the flower. I'm gonna have the fairy. I was gonna have the fairy like up here flying towards, and then have the flowers over here. I'm gonna have like a pool of water, like healing water or something, probably coming out as if she's here to like maybe get herself healed, as if somebody like something or somebody hurt her, and like she's here to get like healing from the water, one like have like a pet have like a, I don't know if it's a tulip, but like one of those flowers that like really has a big cup. It's like a big cup in it. Like, I don't know how to, but anyways, kind of like a, I don't know, a good example. But it has like a big cup in it. It's like this, and then like water's pooling out of it. I think that's a good idea. I think we can still do this. I still think there's room. I'll have the wings short, tattered, torn, and then we'll have that. So I think that'll still work. I was gonna start doing some of the detail here on the face. So let me see. Trying to get the face a little bit more in frame here and give myself a little focus. All right, so the eyebrows, I don't, this is weird. Like, people don't like big noses, people don't like big bushy eyebrows. Now, I agree, like, I'm not a huge fan of unibrows, but to be honest, they're actually not a turn off for me. But she's got some nice thick eyebrows, and I think she might be of like Ukrainian or Russian, some sort of uh, Eastern European descent. But she's got some for some reason it works. Like, these eyebrows are just, certain features just work. I don't understand, like, some people like don't like certain features. I guess their preferences, but a lot of those things I think can just be beautiful. Maybe it's just artist in me. I look at certain features on people, and I'm like, a lot of people are like, that's a weird feature, big ears or big nose or small eyes or big eyes or something like that. Like, Japanese people like big eyes. I don't know about the Korean people, but I think Japanese people, it's kind of, I think it's big eyes, like anime and stuff like that. It's kind of a thing. I don't know if it's just an anime thing. I think they also try to make the eyes look bigger, um, in general, but usually, like, a lot of people try to make smaller eyebrows, or a lot of people try to get Same thing with like a lot of Asian people get double eyelid surgery. When I find single eyelids very pretty, I don't know why. Like if you have double eyelids, I still think you're pretty. You can still be pretty, or you are pretty. I don't know how to explain that. Both are pretty, but it's something about single eyelids also can be extremely. They're very. It's unique. Something unique. I'm not saying all unique things are beautiful necessarily. Like like you can have a really nasty wart or something that's very gross, or like a big tumor. Not everything unique. You could have a foot growing out of your face. Doesn't necessarily just because it's unique, but there's a lot of features that people find as a turnoff, and beauty that they don't find beautiful that I find are beautiful, and I think it's mainly from the artistic, like an artistic point of view, and it's from drawing lots of people. Most of my things are either fantasy stuff, creatures, people, character designs. Most of the things I focus on, and yeah, maybe it's just from those, and I find those interesting. And it's weird how many people are like, yeah, they don't like them. It's I find it interesting how many peculiarities people have. Now, this is I think a good example of still how to guide. So this will be a guide of where be very light when you're doing this because you're gonna have to. Is that right? I think that's right. It's gonna give me some reference at least. And she's got some big eyebrows. So this is not how they're gonna look in the end, but it's gonna be referential here. Because we're gonna have to come back in with a pencil here and draw these eyebrows. And about halfway, she's almost, yeah, her nose and her ridge are about halfway perfectly. And these look almost perfectly like a block. So these are no other way to explain this as extremely bushy. So just be very light when you're doing this because you're gonna want to bring out this line here. So for some reason when I'm drawing across this, it maybe it's the pencil on the side. The pencil on the side is making it rough. So I think it is when you're turning. Yeah, this is going to dip down more, and then this is going to come across straight. Yeah, I think that's right. So the nose tip comes out just about where her So in this picture, her tip of her nose is just below the arch of her what's the best what's the word, cheekbone. So now nose is something I get relatively bad. So the other thing, so I'm doing an outline. You don't need to see me doing too much shading. We're gonna have to find a direction to do the shading in the end. The light source is coming from the right hand side in the picture. I don't know if that's where we're gonna want to. For me, shading and light source direction is something I've always had trouble with, because I just never really was taught it. I never really worked on it. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. I think we're gonna want to probably have it coming from up here, from this side. For me, for some reason, it's reversed on stream. So this is my upper left, and for some reason on stream it's the upper right. So in this case, if you don't know how you're going to do everything, like I said, outline, do outlining first, and then go ahead and work your shading in. Of course, you can erase your outlines and shade it in, because if you go straight for if you shade it in, like the nose is easier to do. Like this part of the nose is very easily done. Shade. I mean, it's something you want to shade in. This isn't coming out quite right. Something doesn't look right about this. Oh, that's not. That's not. Well, sorry about that. Might have to edit that out of the stream. Hopefully you didn't see it. Who am I kidding? No one's in the stream right now. Why is this so smudged? I drew it at a relatively sharp line. Why am I having such a hard time with this? I think I looked fine a second ago, and then all of a sudden. It's too much. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but there's a little dip here on the cheek, kind of where a lot of people where their lips are. Where the lips are on each side, like on each side of the mouth. A lot of people on the side kind of have like a press out where the side of the mouth is. You'll kind of see like a indentation. No, not indentation. X. What's the indentation is going in. So I don't know what the opposite is. Kind of being pushed out. So she kind of has. It might need a little bit more room here between the lips and the. Ah, stupid thing smudges way too much. Don't be afraid to erase a little too much. Not hard to bring it back. Okay, I think my problem here is I gave too much length. So give too much length to the I don't know what it's called, but the little dip underneath your nose, right above your lip. Okay. I always struggle with lips. I don't know why. It's probably, I mean, in this case, it's probably because I haven't been working in a while, working, drawing. It's all about getting the right angle. Now, this really, once we get them in about the right place, we can go ahead and work on the shading and getting a little bit more detail. I can help here. This is exactly why I put paper towel down. My left arm just stuck to the thing. I'm gonna have to work on those lips. It's the face is coming in close. Oops. Ooh. The face is coming in close to looking like hers, but the lips are very important, and it is just not right. Like, mm. Something's off. Some is off. No, I didn't want to do that. Shit. Looks like the Joker now. You got to be careful because if you do start erasing too much, or in my case, it's getting smudged because the soft pencil lead was definitely getting too messed up. The lips formation is not going away. I think we're going to go ahead and end it here. I'll probably try doing. I did a lot of exercising today and a whole bunch of other stuff. So my back is murdering me, and this chair is not helping. I think we can salvage it, but I'm gonna have to work. I might have to work on the lips separate because I might need the camera a little bit out of my way. I need to be able to lean over it just right. I think the rest of it's coming in okay though. Sorry we didn't get much further in. Like I said, I'm very slow when it comes to doing my art. So I'll be honest, I like this picture and this model quite a lot. So like I think she's gorgeous. I think I'll have to like I'm probably gonna do I've done several pictures several times just because I wanted to improve upon them. And that's not a bad thing. I definitely think you should revisit, especially if there's a piece that you like. I don't think, obviously, I don't think you should I mean, if the piece is very well done and you just want to retouch it, that's something different. And if you can retouch it, I don't know an example. I think you can probably retouch watercolors. I don't really mess with too many things. Obviously, you can retouch charcoal and pencil pretty easily. You can add to it, but uh, I like redoing stuff quite a bit. So I like I like it, I also like seeing what I would do different. So um, this is something I'll probably revisit in the future because this is obviously practice, do stuff, and then I would say even use the same model picture and see how you improve, see how you do different, like what you do different techniques and stuff like that, and try. It becomes a different picture. So, but I've done two or three using the same picture models, characters, and I've literally redone them probably two or three times. So um, this one, I think I'm probably going to do that because like she is just she's gorgeous, and I think it's a perfect model for doing lots of different things, different fantasy characters, and interesting, just interesting pictures. So um, if I can get this mouth just right, because even with there was at one point where I could kind of see her coming through. Yeah, I think this is a little too much. I need to make this a little. Shave off. Give her a little too much of a. It's a quick jut out and then a sharp cut down. That's a little better. That's better. That's much better. It's a very sharp cheekbone. It's beautiful, but it's sharp. If I can get this mouth right and the eyes right, I think it'll come in. She'll come in pretty well. I need to bring the mouth up just a little bit more. I think I might need to rose. I need to raise the nose up as well. So I'm gonna have to work on this. Trying to see about where the mouth comes in. I kind of moved everything up. I think you're gonna want the parting of the lips about here. You're gonna want the nose. I said, yeah, the nose has got to raise up a little bit. It's got to be about here. And then this is about where the eyebrow is. always feel free to make mistakes, okay? So the center of the nose is right about here. It's going to be relatively short. Comes in just under here. I didn't mean to take that much off. Doing this without shading is going to be a pain. Screw it. Just kind of notice something. Her down, in, and straight. Okay. You have to bring the picture up. I'm going to have to bring the picture up on my computer to see her nose better. Still doesn't feel right. Ouch. A little better. It's a replacement nose. All right, let's get this out of here. I mean, this is sturdy paper, but we've done so much erasing. You got to be careful to damage the paper. All right, that doesn't look too bad. I always feel like there's too much space right here. I don't know if I need to bring in. I feel like I constantly too much space between the nose and the lips. It's one of my weaknesses, I would say. Maybe it's just because I got to shade it in. If I shade it in, we're going to get a little bit more. I gotta fix that nose. It looks like she had a nose job. And this open mouth is always. I don't know. When I draw someone with teeth slightly showing, it just doesn't look. When I draw it, it doesn't look right to me. They look bucktooth, or they just don't look right. You know, a girl with slightly parted lips. Ooh. A girl with slightly parted lips looks beautiful. It's slightly alluring, you know, kind of draws you in, sensual. But then when I draw it, it just doesn't it doesn't look right. Might have to raise this upper limit. Limit? Lip? The upper limit. Yeah. The shading's helping a little bit, I think, bringing in the mouth instead of just outlining it. This eraser pencil works very well for shading. Not the best for erasing, but for shading. Eventually, we'll get rid of these lines off the face once I'm. I should have probably drawn the whole body, but I wanted to see how the face was going to come out for us. I think it's definitely coming out better now, but I got to fix his nose. Teeth feel like they need to be just a little bit smaller. Her teeth are in right where her lip begins, or her bottom lip. That is like they're kind of like just biting into her upper lip, but she's not actually biting it. It just like they're disappearing just behind her upper lip. Yeah, that actually worked. That's working. That's doing better. This is turning out a lot better. I don't think it's coming up on the camera super well, but I think it's definitely coming up better on the paper. Yeah. Now this got a curve. I'm gonna bring this lip under just a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, it's actually starting to look like her. I think it's actually starting to do what I want. The mouth, I think, actually looks more right. I'm probably gonna fuck it up here in a second though. Just gotta be careful. All the shading. So it's gonna be dark right in here. Now I'm just using a normal 2B but a mechanical pencil. This gives you a really sharp edge. You don't have to constantly sharpen. trying to get this. This needs to come in a little bit more. Comes in like this, and under and over. There we go. This tucks in. So. Okay, so once I shed, I can't speak. Once I shade a little bit with the 2B, this is good for like pre-shading and just getting a little bit of shade in. Of course, you wouldn't want to go back over with like a 2B, or get like a pencil kit that has like the full H, like 8H through 8B pencil set. And then you're going to want to get in here with like a 4B or something to get the very dark spots. And we'll do that later. Once we're 100% sure this is like where we're going to want it to be. Besides, like I said earlier, the shading aspect is not going to be the same as the picture. I'm going to cut off just a little bit of this. We're going to add a little bit more of that in, but we're just going to extend. We're just going to extend the lip a little bit. Shade. Okay. It's not amazing, but it looks a lot better than it did earlier. Let's finish getting the teeth in here. She's going to have one kind of cutting in right. And then the rest of it's just kind of... shit. Gotta be careful. This is where mistakes happen. You got something you like, and then you fuck up. Okay, now this is... There's a light... You can see a little bit of a tooth back here, but it's going to be very dark. It's not too bad. Probably going to lighten it up just a little bit. All right, we'll come back in. So that's just going to be the placeholder for the mouth. We'll come back in with a better pencil, like better shading pencils, some H's and some F's, and get... Well, the H's are harder pencils, but that'll help us define some nice lines. But it also, the B's will let us smudge in and get some darker shading. This is just kind of placeholder. But I think it turned out far better than the mouth we had earlier. She still looks a little here. I kind of like it when it's ambiguous over here on the right. When it kind of just kind of shades into nothing, kind of disappears. But that's just me. She's got like, I don't know what they're called. I don't know if it's an invite, but where your teeth divot inwards, like the front teeth are divot inwards. But I don't know really how to draw that. That's something new to me. So, did this smudge? No, it just smudged. Okay. All right. So next I'd work on the eyes, but my hands are killing me from drawing that mouth. Pull this in just a little bit. I'd be careful. I've erased this so many times. I got to be worried about damaging the paper. So I think next time we'll work on the eyes and the eyebrows. We'll go ahead and take out the lines. Leaving the eye lines. We'll take out these so we can work on that. Let's go ahead and put the hair placement in here. We're going to have to kind of play around with the hair. But there's going to be some nice shading in the hair. Just kind of play with the shading where it's going to be. There's a nice little. That was too hard. Line. Right here, there's going to be a dark shade. Let's see how this goes. This goes way up in here. Kind of curls in over the shoulder. It's going to curl down. Just got a shoulder going here. Her hair kind of follows. Here. All the way down her back. And then it's wavy. And then at the very end, it curls. Like, I don't know. Is it curlers? Girls put curlers in their hair at nighttime. Her hair goes almost all the way down to her, right above her butt. Come here, all the way down here. I think actually when we're doing this, it would be good actually just go ahead and place in the curls. When you're wiping away, good thing, don't use your hand because especially mine, they're always oily, sweaty, whatever. And if they're wet and stuff, they'll just smudge everything, especially if you're using a grid pattern for measuring and blowing stuff up. So just use something dry, paper towel. Obviously, you don't want to push hard. So just kind of wipe in the light stuff. That way also you don't blow with your mouth, spit water can get everywhere. So the hair kind of curls in here. I don't know if you can. I'm going to have to get this picture out of the way. Sorry. I don't know. Even if it's for art, I don't know YouTube's policy about nudity. Even for art. See if I can do it over here. There we go. Oh, my back. So it kind of curls in every so often. And it's going to keep going. Don't be worried if like when you're drawing a picture, it's just perfect. We can mess around with this a little bit later and make it a little different. Ends on 4. So it kind of curls around like this. Just above, right in, it ends right in here. So these can turn into like little curl sections where we can, turn them into curls. We'll mess with that a little bit. Up again. The hair's not super voluminous, so it's going to stay within most of this area here. But it is wavy. This dips in, dips out, dips in, dips out. Dips in, dips out, in, out, and with a little bit of flare here at the end. If you want to add, obviously add some uniqueness and difference. The problem is this looks great and I like her hair quite a bit, but we're gonna have to mess since we're turning her into a fairy. We're gonna have to mess with the wings here in the back, and we're gonna be doing frayed wings, like obviously because I should have moved her over one. That was my intention in the beginning, and I was just dumb and started drawing her to the right because I was thinking about what I was going to do over here. That's why I went 2 over. I started her here, but the reason I added another row over here, because she only goes to this row. The reason I added another row was to push her over one. I should have wrote something down to remind myself, and I didn't, of course. I never do. I always make mistakes like that. So I'm actually liking the lip. It looks a lot better than the first couple that we did. The first couple I think looked really bad. Like I said, I had really trouble with the lips. The nose is a little bit better. I'm gonna have to work on that. The nose is a lot of shading. If you ever look at a nose, the nose is primarily shading when you're doing like there's not many hard lines. Even like the ridge, when you're looking at a ridge of a nose, I mean, technically you could shade. If you're drawing something, it's all shading. Technically, you could, unless you're drawing like a perfect 2D image of just lines, then technically you still could shade. Whatever. I'm not going to get in pedantics here, but if you have like an orange, you could just use shading and get the picture. You don't necessarily need to do any line drawing. Line drawing helps with you getting boundaries and stuff like that. It helps you getting hard lines when something's very thin, very skinny, yarn, a log, a stick, things that have hard lines in a picture. In a nose, so much of it, especially if the face is turned in the shadows and everything, just so much of it is shadow. And if you try to just use lines or line draw a nose, it doesn't look right. So even when if you're just sketching something real quick, if you don't use shading in the nose at all, it doesn't look right. It just doesn't look right at all. Some people could probably do it better than others, but you need at least a little bit of shading in there. And the nose, it looks kind of okay at the moment. But I really need to fix up the shading. Primarily is going to be here on the left side, but I'm going to bring the light source in the picture. The light source is coming up from the right side, or no, it's coming like from the front right, like right here. Everything's reversed here, so that's front left for you. For me, it's front right. But I'm going to bring it. This is my front. This is upper left for me, upper right for you. We're going to bring the light source in here, I think. So most of the shading is probably going to come over here, unless I guess we could bring the lighting I guess we could switch it and bring the shading over here. And then in that case, most of the shadows wouldn't change too much on the photo. Like her legs, her leggy, or excuse me, her legs and stuff up front. Like if we like literally brought a lighting source coming straight from above her down, like the shadows would still shade the left side of her face like it is now. Yeah. Yeah. So we could do that. We could bring it from the upper right for me. That way the shadows would still, that way I could just use the picture for the shadows. I'm not super great. That's like I said earlier, I'm not super great with shadows. So I think we're going to go ahead and stop there today. It's almost been 2 hours. Like I said, I did a whole bunch of strenuous stuff earlier. My back is killing me. I need to get a different chair. This chair is good. Can I gotta adjust my table and see if I can bring it up any higher. If I can bring my drawing table up higher, I won't have to bend over as much. But I don't think I can. And this chair is broken. I got this chair as a freebie, and I don't want to grouch and say like, damn it, like why doesn't this chair work? I got it as a freebie, so I can't complain. But I can't adjust it. So my back is murdering. Hey, so we got somebody watching. Thanks for stopping in. If you want to watch, go ahead and give us a subscribe. I was about to say follow. I also stream over on Twitch. If you want to know when I'm going to go live anywhere, there's the Discord link. My Discord is also the Armchair Grump. There's no spaces between the words, and you can hop into our Discord. There's a link over there in the About section. And I put out notifications over on the Discord when I'm going to go live. Otherwise, just give us a subscribe here, and hopefully it'll give you notifications when I go live. I'm not as active over here. I'm going to try and be more active. I do some Gundam model making. I do some drawing. I'm going to be drawing more. I'm trying to get back into it, and I'm trying to use this as a way to get myself back more into it because I enjoy it, but it's something that I'm decent at, and I'm trying to make myself do something good. Like I'm trying to make myself be good. Do something. Drawing's a talent. I want to use it. So so if you want to give us a subscribe here, if you want to see us play video games and do some Twitch and hang out with us, follow us over on Twitch if you want to hang out with us. And if you want to join us for video games, Discord too, come hang out, join some memes, send us some memes or enjoy our memes over on Discord. And of course, if you want to play games with us, of course, you're free to on Twitch. We play a lot of different video games with multiplayer and stuff like that. And we do like Overwatch. We do Overwatch. I play tons of games. Overwatch, Battlefront, Battlefield, Borderlands. We just got Far Cry 5. That's got multiplayer. A lot of stuff. I've got dozens of video. No, I got way more than that. I've got hundreds of video games for the PS4. We're on PS4, so unfortunately, or on PS4. If it's got I don't know what it's called. If it's got crossplay, crossplay like Overwatch does. You can play with people on Xbox or people on PC. Then of course, feel free, of course, still to join us. If you want to hop in stream and ask to join, or if you want to hop on Discord and give us your gamer tag, we'll send you an invite. We'll send you a friend request and whatever. And whenever we hop on to play video games, just say, hey, I want to join, and we'll get you an invite. So otherwise, give us a subscribe here if you want to join. See when I pop in. I'm hoping to hop on tomorrow a little bit after doing some streaming, some videos. My other channel is just the Armchair Grump. I think there's a channel. I don't know if there's a list of channels on my YouTube, on this channel, on the Armchair Grump Live. Otherwise, just Grump, and that's where all my video game channels are. Hopefully I'll be bringing out some regular YouTube videos. I'm working on them. I'm editing. I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff. I took a little bit of time off, but we're doing more of that now, and hoping to be bringing you more streaming and stuff to obviously the Armchair Grump Live. So check out the Armchair Grump on YouTube, the Armchair Grump on the Armchair Grump on Twitch, and of course check out the Discord, which is in the about listed in the about section over on Twitch. YouTube, the Armchair Grump is got spaces between the words. the Armchair Grump on Twitch. It's got no spaces between the words. So yeah, give us a subscribe in all the places. Check out the Discord. I greatly appreciate stopping in. Sorry I couldn't go a little bit longer. Hands hurt and my back is murdering me. I went for like a 4-hour walk today because I was playing Pokemon Go, and I was taking my dog for a walk, and she pulls me everywhere, and it kills my back. So I don't know if that's a valid excuse or not. At least I was exercising, but my back is murdering me. I got to go lay down. So thanks for stopping in. We'll do more of this hopefully tomorrow. Otherwise, like I said, go subscribe and you'll hopefully get notifications. YouTube's usually not the best, but hopefully it'll do something. But otherwise, check out the Armchair Grump here on YouTube, and hopefully you'll like some of our other stuff. We do a lot of video gaming stuff. Hopefully I'll be bringing some other things. I don't know if I can link. I don't know if I'll be bringing art stuff over there. Maybe I'll bring some of these some of my videos from the Armchair Grump Live. I'll post them over there as regular videos. I'm not sure yet. I wasn't sure if I was going to leave everything over here or not. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do it. But all right, you guys have a good one. Thanks for stopping in. I greatly appreciate it. Bye-bye now. Get on out of here.